Now, let me tell y'all something. When it comes to LeBron James, this man is always a headline. Every move he makes, every decision he takes, it gets dissected and analyzed. And after the Lakers' devastating loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves, the questions were flying. Why didn't they make substitutions? Was that the right call? Was it the coaching staff? Was it the players? Or was it just a matter of bad luck and tough matchups? The truth is, there's a lot going on here, and it's more complex than we can sometimes give credit for. So let's break it down. 1. The call to stick with the five-man group. Let's talk about this decision that Coach J.J. Redick made during Game 4 of the first-round series. We all know how important that game was. It was a must-win situation for the Lakers. You're down 2-1 in a series on the road against a solid Timberwolves team, and you're trying to tie it up to give yourself a chance to survive and push it to a Game 5. Redick made the call to roll with his five most trusted players: LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, on the surface, you might think, wait, that's a huge gamble. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. But here's the thing. In high-pressure situations, coaches do this. They go with their best players, especially when the game is tight, the momentum is shifting, and you don't want to risk losing the rhythm by making changes. This decision to stick with the five-man unit was rooted in strategy. It wasn't about the players not doing their jobs. It wasn't about punishment or benching anyone. It was about the feel of the game. When you're in the heat of battle, sometimes you've got to trust your gut, and Redick's gut told him that the team was in a good place, even without substitutions. But let's be honest here. Not making substitutions is a risky move, especially with a game that could determine your playoff future. That's a coach call that's always going to be questioned if it doesn't work out. And sure enough, the Lakers did struggle down the stretch. Some might say that they looked gassed, and I get it. The players were running on fumes by the final minutes. And in hindsight, people were looking for someone to blame. But LeBron James ain't one to shy away from responsibility. And he's got something important to say about all this. 2. LeBron's response and his mindset. LeBron James wasn't tired in the moment. He wasn't asking for a sub. This is the most important part. See, when you're a competitor at LeBron's level, you don't think about fatigue in the middle of a game like that. The game is on the line. He's locked in. He's putting everything he has on the floor. It's only after the final buzzer, when the adrenaline starts to wear off, that the exhaustion hits you. LeBron admits it. He felt physically drained afterward, not because he played the entire second half, but because of the emotional and physical toll a postseason game takes. Let's be real. LeBron doesn't just give his body to the game. He gives his soul, his focus, his intensity, his leadership. All of it is invested in making sure his team has a chance. That's the mentality of a champion. And when LeBron says, I wasn't tired in the moment, I was tired afterward because I gave my whole body, my mind, my soul to the game for 48 minutes. That right there is what separates him from the rest of the pack. This man's dedication is unmatched. But here's the thing, even in the face of that, LeBron wasn't looking to point fingers. He wasn't blaming anyone. He placed the responsibility squarely on the players, not the coaches. He said, none of us questioned JJ and the coaching staff for what happened. It wasn't a decision that was based on guys not being able to do the job. It was a decision based on the feeling of the game and the momentum of the game. Now that's leadership, folks. LeBron is acknowledging the situation, but he's also reinforcing the idea that the blame wasn't on the coach for making a strategic choice. It was on the players for not stepping up when it mattered most. That's accountability, and it's exactly what you want from a team leader. 3. The bigger picture. Let's step back for a second and understand something. The Lakers, in that series, ran into a tough matchup. The Timberwolves had been playing solid basketball, and they had the pieces to make life difficult for the Lakers. That's just how the playoffs go sometimes. It's about matchups, and sometimes the team with the right combination of skills, size, and chemistry can outplay you, no matter how talented your roster is. The Lakers had the star power, but the Timberwolves had the depth, the defense, and the right players stepping up at the right moments. But the Lakers weren't outmatched in terms of talent. The question was, did they execute? And that's where LeBron and his teammates have to look in the mirror. Yes, the coaching decision to stick with the same 5 guys in the second half could backfired. But LeBron's not going to use that as an excuse. If there's anyone who knows about overcoming obstacles, it's LeBron James. He's been in situations like this before. He's been in playoff battles where things didn't go his way. He's taken the losses, learned from them, and moved on. This series wasn't any different in terms of his mentality. He's always looking for what went wrong and what he can do better next time. And when it comes to the team as a whole, LeBron made it clear that the Lakers' failure wasn't about one decision. It was about the collective performance. They didn't make the plays down the stretch when it mattered most. 4. The outside criticism. Now, let's talk about the outside noise for a second. When you're in a situation like the Lakers were in, when the season is on the line, the critics start to come out in full force. And there were plenty of people questioning Redick's decision not to make substitution. A lot of people said, "How could you not give your players a break?" They said. The team looked gassed in the end. But here's the thing. None of the players questioned Redick's decision. Not LeBron, not Luka, not Austin, not Rui, nobody. The Lakers players understood what Redick was doing. They knew the importance of that game and trusted that the decision was made with the best interest of the team in mind. It was about momentum, about the flow of the game. And when you're in a do-or-die situation, sometimes the most difficult thing to do is pull your guys off the floor. So it's no surprise that the Lakers didn't push back on the decision. They accepted it. The outside world, that's where the criticism was coming from. The talking heads, the analysts, the fans, they weren't in the locker room. They didn't feel the flow of the game. They weren't making those split-second decisions under pressure. Easy to criticize after the fact. But LeBron, Austin, and the rest of the Lakers had a different perspective. They understood the reasoning. They understood the bigger picture. 5. Conclusion. In the end, the Lakers' season came to a disappointing end, and Game 4 will be remembered as one of those games where the margin between victory and defeat was razor thin. LeBron James gave everything he had, as did his teammate. The decision by JJ Redick to stick with his core 5 players in the second half may have been risky, but it was made with the belief that those players could get the job done. Unfortunately, they didn't. LeBron James will reflect on this series as he always does, but he'll take responsibility where it's due, and he'll move forward. That's the mindset of a champion. It wasn't a perfect situation, but it was a situation where the Lakers gave it their all. And sometimes, that's all you can ask for. So, as the Lakers head into the offseason, the lessons from this series will resonate. There is no shame in losing to a tough team in the playoffs, but there's always room for growth, and we know LeBron will be back next season, ready to lead the Lakers once again. And with him, you can never count them out.
Phần này mình ngấp xuống nha. Tiếp theo phần này mình sẽ gấp lên trên này nha. Mình gấp như này nha. Mình sẽ dùng băng keo mình dính vào nha. Mình sẽ gấp phần này vào đây nha. Cho tôi. Mình sẽ gấp phần này lên đây nha. Mình sẽ vẽ mắt nha. Vậy là mình đã hoàn thành xong rồi nha mọi người. Mọi người có thể tham khảo cách làm này của mình để làm nha. Video của mình đến đây là hết. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại mọi người trong các video tiếp theo nha. Bye bye tất cả mọi người nha. Chúc mọi người thành công nha.